So guys, today I will be reviewing for you this brand new amber collection that Zara dropped out of nowhere, and without knowing much about these four new amber-centered perfumes, I decided to pull the trigger, order them blindly, and spoiler alert, I think you shouldn't sleep on them. So keep on watching to find out how I feel about these, but also check out the description box for more helpful information, and I would really appreciate if you could give this video a huge thumbs up, as well as feel free to subscribe to my channel. And once you're done with that, without any further ado, let's get started. So hello and welcome everyone to today's review on this brand new amber collection that hit me by surprise. I saw these four new fragrances that are amber centered on their website, and without knowing much about them, not being a big fan of amber, but really liking how Zara is killing it with their perfume releases, I decided to get them in these mini sizes, and that's what we are going to be talking about today. So let me know if you're a fan of Zara perfumes, what are your favorites, and if you've already seen these ambery fragrances. Maybe you like this now, then I would love to know which perfumes with it you enjoy. And without any further ado, let's get started with Amber in Bloom. So this is the bottle. The presentation is sleek, really beautiful. This is kind of like part of their luxurious line, so they have more commercial perfumes, and these that smell really expensive, come really close to niche perfumes, but obviously for much less. And I always recommend you their fragrances in this presentation. Actually, I'm working on a collective favorites top list from Zara, so stay tuned for that. But now let's talk about Amber in Bloom, which is the first fragrance I tried from this collection, and immediately I got like this burst of very tropical tuberose. Think white flowers, heavy jasmine, some sensual ylang-ylang, and it is all so creamy and coconutty. Amber in here is not in its traditional form, it's rather glowy, more of benzoin, warming up the white flowers, transporting you to a beautiful southern vacation, making you feel like you're wearing flowers in your hair. That type of a perfume that for me is rather like for daytime, and if you're not going on vacation, I think it would be lovely for casual, day off on the weekend. If you are meeting with friends or something like that, this is a really easygoing fragrance in style of Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. So if you know that fragrance, which is really heavy on white flowers with some ambery base, they are kind of similar to me personally. In here I don't get much spices, and it was so funny that when I sprayed myself with it and went downstairs to my mom, who is not the biggest fan of white floral fragrances, she asked me about it, and I was like, why, do you want it? And she was like, yes, I need it. So that's something that I want to point out about this perfume. It performs really well, it's noticeable, it projects nicely, and it also reminded me of Olympia from Paco Rabanne, because I smell something salty in there too. So if you like these sweetened, ambery, white floral fragrances with a touch of salt, then I think you might actually enjoy this one that is to me rather feminine, just as the next one, which is my favorite from this line. And when I smelled it, so I didn't know about the notes, because Zara doesn't reveal much about what's inside their fragrances, and there are not many reviews yet, so I didn't expect this next fragrance, which is Stella Amber, to be as similar to, oh my god, Guidance to Amouage perfume that haunts me in my sleep. It's the fragrance of my dream that I will add to my collection one day. But you guys, they are so similar, and it's incredible because in here we also have that nice, very light fruitiness. It's kind of elusive pear that goes into super smooth, sweetened, woody, dry down, not too ambery to me. So that's very interesting. It's more like this nice osmanthus that is fresh and so sophisticated. You guys, if you're familiar with Guidance, it's just a very luxurious perfume. It makes a statement, makes you feel really good, and this is kind of in that style, but you guys, for just 13 euros. So I would highly recommend you check it out. It is rather on feminine side, more unisex than the previous one, and yeah, it is kind of floral, but with touches of fruits with touches of sweetened woodsiness. It is a little bit powdery but super delicate, and I think I will be wearing it to work on my everyday basis. I will go heavy on this perfume. It is so amazing with very hugging sillage. I just love fragrances like that, and actually Zara has something kind of in that vein, hipster oud, that is closer to Guidance than this Stella Amber, but still they are very similar in the same style. I really like both perfumes, and I highly recommend you to check them out because Zara tends to discontinue their fragrances, so just don't sleep on them. And let's talk about the next fragrance, which is Amber Fever. So I have some thoughts about this one. It's actually really nice. I've sprayed my like sofa with it. I sprayed it on the pillows and everywhere because it just sets up such a cozy mood, being a pretty vanilla fragrance in this dark style with a hint of smoke. It goes into the baby cat direction without really hitting on that almost churchy smokiness. It's super round and it's so nice without being too harsh as some other dark fragrances. I find it would be lovely for going out because it is sort of tender, it doesn't overwhelm you, and it is orientalish. It is really beautiful. I kind of like it, but it's not enough for me sometimes. So I oversprayed it and it's still very soft. So there is a note of orchid in there, and I always call this note a filter in perfume, so it blurs everything. So this is muted, really deep and sensual smelling perfume that is kind of amber and balmy. So that is what I meant with oriental, and I thought it's similar to Vanilla Vibration. If you remember that one, I have reviews on the oud and the vanilla collection from Zara, but this is definitely woodier, and yeah, it smells more vanillic than this other fragrance, but I'm not smelling much of Amber Fever, which to me personally is not a bad thing, and it is totally unisex. I would recommend it for a night out because it's so lovely. However, the last and not least fragrance is probably the most mysterious and interesting one to me personally, which is Amber Satin. And you guys, when I sprayed myself with this one for the first time, I was like, oh my god, it drives me crazy because I know fragrance that it smells like but the thing is I can't remember it. And basically it's like a very boozy perfume that's not too complex, but it's like a proper booze that is not too bitter, that is not too harsh. It doesn't knock you out immediately. It warms you up from within. It makes you feel really good. It relaxes you. I smell almost like a plumish dry fruit undertone, and it is fantastic. It is sublime. It smells so rich, expensive, luxurious and niche that I thought about Enigma Per Homme from Roger, but then I compare these two and they are not very similar. But you guys, if you know a fragrance that is a dupe for, I'm pretty much sure I have it in my collection or something similar to it. It just smells so boozy and delicious. Oh my god, this is the sexiest one from this collection that is absolutely unisex, and if I need to recommend you just one, I would say go for this one. It would be also great for layering and stuff, but the thing is, that is kind of what you can do with all of these fragrances because they are from the same ambery family. I will actually spray all of these on myself right now because that way you can just really make sure that you spray more of one and then less of another depending on your mood. So I went heavy on the Amber Satin just because I love such boozy perfumes. I will definitely give it to Benny, the first fragrance Amber and Bloom, to my mom, and will really enjoy the Stella Amber on the everyday basis myself, and we'll see what I do with Amber Fever. But all of these are fantastic. I didn't expect them to be as good as they turn out, and I highly recommend you guys to check them out. So let me know if you're interested in these and what's your favorite Zara perfume. If you have any questions left, I'm here to answer them, and definitely check out the description box down below. I will leave all the information for you guys, and I am always so looking forward to Zara new releases. So if you are interested in the top list of my Zara favorites and you want it to be done fast, because I know that they have a new cherry collection, so I'm thinking maybe I should try out that. You know, they're constantly launching new stuff, and then I'm like, okay, if I post this video now, then, you know, 2 days later they will come up with a new fragrance. But it would be really helpful to get your feedback, and if you enjoyed, of course, the thumbs up, and I would also appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to stay tuned and smell good. We'll see each other next one really soon. Bye guys.